Some of those tunes were written in the car with both of us, but my name didn't show up on any of that.
For Black Octopus?
I'd have to see the tunes again and be refreshed, but some of that stuff, we had so many little bands and trios and this and that, we'd put music together. And so some of those things, we didn't officially co-wrote, but we sang the parts to each other and made up lyrics together. And,
Really?
We were like buds, But somehow I got left behind on that one, which was another kind of Paul Jackson kind of story that, he would make up for it in different ways. Like one time Fred Wesley told me that he would not see his name on things that he wrote for James Brown. He'd see James Brown's name on it. But then later, something that James Brown wrote, Fred's name would be on it. So he had a way of, Paul was like this. He would do things that you'd be like, wait a minute, you can't be doing that, bro. And then later on, he'd make up for it. So after a while, I got used to that rhythm and I was cool with Paul. I'm like, okay, it'll come, And on top of that, we were best buds forever, right till he called me the night before he died. I talked to him about 5 hours before he died. And he said, he let me know, this is it, baby. So if there's anything you want to tell me, you better tell me now. And I'm like, yeah, well, first of all, you're a punk. I want you to know that, And he's like, oh, man, I still can whip your butt, And we just got into it, man. And then we had this very deep, beautiful conversation. Next morning, his wife called me. She said, he's gone. It was like, I'm still blown out. That's one of those I'm not going to get over until I'm gone. You know? I mean, I'm not sad and broken up. I'm having fun and having a good time. But when I pray for him every single day for his whatever's left of him, if there is anything like that, I'm praying for it. Sending him energy.
Well, seriously, it's been a while, but my condolences over that. I mean, I feel bad bringing it up because I'm sure it's a sore spot. But the music that you made with him, like you two are my favorite, funkiest rhythm section together, and like I can tell how profound of a relationship you two have.
Man,
I love
thank you
all like the work that you two have done together.
We did a lot of crazy stuff that was non-musical too. We shared a huge house that was the epicenter for our girlfriends hanging out, drinking. Also, we had a big music room, and so years of music was played in there. And all those things that we did with Herbie, we did way before we met Herbie. We'd been doing that for a while. He played upright bass, acoustic. That was his thing, and trombone, and he wrote and he sang and he played oboe and bassoon, and he had classical training, all kinds of stuff. And then the church thing, he was like way into that. And his father and mother played piano and sang in church, led the bands. And so an amazing natural musician that could just we didn't even have to name the tune or count anything off. We could actually just start playing and come up with a whole orchestrated deal. We had that kind of a friendship where it was just organic and it went like that,
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he'd give me a car,
Just give you?
He'd just give me a car. One day he had this Ford with a 390 engine and a stick shift, and he knew I liked it. He said, hey, it's yours, take it. I'm like, I don't want your car. He's like, yeah, no, it's your car. I'm going to leave it here anyway. It's your car. Drive it or don't drive it. Here's the keys. I drove it for 2 years. And,
wow.
Yeah. What are you going to do with a guy like that, man? He gives you a car. What?
You drive his car.
I drove it, man, to death.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was making up for some tunes he took from you.
Probably. He must have been now that I think about it, I'd like to know what he did that warranted him giving me a car, now that you mentioned.
What was he equalizing?
Yeah, maybe I better change that prayer a little bit,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible. It's apparent on everything you guys that's on vinyl that you can hear. It's a love affair. You know, you guys,
Yeah,
you know,
we loved each other. He's my brother, you know.
Yeah.
And his family treated me like family from day one, and vice versa, you know. So we didn't even have to speak about stuff. It was so deep. We could be in a room full of people and nothing needed to be said with him and I, and there was something being understood by both of us that we're, you know, it was weird, you know.
It was amazing.
Yeah.